Why did it do that? Hello, good evening, shalom. I don't know what's going on with my phone. I started it. Now I have to do this again. Hold on. Something happened. I started the video, but we have to do this again. This is a video of my mother's wills that I'm doing for the Supreme Court and the public. Whoever wants to see, I don't care. I really don't care at this stage. This is the death certificate of my mom, Ruth Patricia Fitzgerald. This is actually for the Supreme Court, but that's okay. It'll go public. And here is my mom's death certificate sent to me by the funeral home. And I arranged for her funeral and for the banks to pay the $10,800 for her funeral. That's the death certificate there. I got 7 of them. This here is my mother's last will and testament, and you'll take note. I will shine the camera on it for the Supreme Court. You can see it says clearly here, I appoint my sons Robert Scott Fitzgerald of the town of Fort Erie and Daniel William Todd Fitzgerald of Vancouver, British Columbia, to be the executors and trustees of this my will. I refer to my executors and trustees as my trustees. I give all my property, including any property over which I may have general power of, appoint to my trustees upon the following trust. Okay? And this is the will. This is the okay, and then it goes on to the children. If one of us dies before the will, if one of us doesn't survive for the will, that it goes directly to our children. So that's page 1. I just want to go over this quickly. This here is page 2. Just wait a minute now. Get it up here. Okay, again, it deals with a transfer of the estate to our children if one of us perishes. This is what page 2 is. I'm trying to do this quickly. Okay, there we go, and down and around. Just very quickly. Okay, it's just a standard legal will. This is what's called a legal will. These wills were looked at by 3 lawyers and one in a park that was explained to him. I didn't have him with me for that lawyer I met in the park. So here's page 3, which is just, it's just all, I'm just trying to show this is a proper will, okay? And that's what it looks like, Okay, so let's go on. Okay, this is page 4, and again, it just deals with taxes and some laws and so on, and it's just a standard perfect will by Peter Bonifant. Here is my mom. Here is her signature, as you can see. Here is the witnesses. Okay, and on the final page is here is Peter Bonifant, barrister solicitor. Here we go. Okay, now we'll just slide it by there very slowly for people to see. Okay, you can see very slowly. Supreme Court, look at this. Okay, here is okay, all right, and here is Peter Bonifant's signature. Okay, of Fort Erie, Ontario. So it's a standard legal will, and it addresses all of the property, all of the assets, everything. This will was drawn up in 2006. So just let me just get off here for a minute. I have to be quick. I thought I had the camera on, but I didn't. Now let's move on to the 2016 will, which 4 lawyers have stated this will is illegal. It's not legal. Here it is here, last will and testament. Again, of course, my brother drew this up. Oh, hand delivered. That's interesting. Now, in this will, okay, it's, again, another will from 2016. Now, I want you to read paragraph 1. The property in the house I leave in the event of my death to Daniel William Todd Fitzgerald, youngest son, in whole, with the exception of any and all expenses, both ongoing, such as heat, hydro, water, cost of sale to liquidate the house and property, which is to be paid through the remaining monies from my savings. So it says here that the that the heat hydro water and or cost of sale to liquidate the house and property, which is to be paid through the remaining monies from my savings. This also includes all moving and storing costs. So she wanted me to get the whole house and the total amount the house was worth. Okay. Now, you can see line 2. All liquidation of furniture and personal belongings will be the responsibility of Robert Scott Fitzgerald, older son, to dispose of as he sees fit. Now, so my brother was given the right to dispose of whatever remains in the house. It says, now he adds this, should the sale of the house and property be required before locating Daniel William Todd Fitzgerald? You see, this is garbage because that's in conflict with number 1. There's no need for the house to be sold. The bills of my mom's are quite small. They amount to no more than a couple of $1,000s. There is $20,000 owed to the city. My mom got an advance to fix her house. That is owed off the house, and that's it. Okay, so the house doesn't need to be sold. There's no liens against it by banks or anything else. So this was unrequired. But my brother's been trying to sell the house against me, is what he's been doing. Now at the bottom here, you'll see my mom's signature, which is right there, and you will see 2015, and you'll see. And that's it. It's just her signature. You can see there's no witnesses. Nothing. Just her signature. Okay? Now, there's a number 2 to this, where my brother changed it. It's essentially the same. The will's the same, except he made one little change. This time on the 2016 one, there's my mother's signature. There is a witness. Okay? And the date and so on. Okay? And it's the same. It's the exact same will, except for the witnesses. Okay? I still get the house. Where is it here? The property and house I leave in the event of my death to Daniel William Todd Fitzgerald. Youngest son, in whole with the exception of any and all expenses, both ongoing, such as heat, hydro, water, and or cost of sale to liquidate the house and property, which is to be paid through remaining monies from my savings. Okay, so my mom agreed to this because she wanted me to get the house. So maybe the signature down there it could be hers because her hands were bad. I'm not certain, but anyway. Okay, and come on. Now this one here, this is the last one. This here is a letter that my brother wrote to my mother on July 10th, 2015. He says, "Dear Mom, important information you need to consider either by sharing a safety deposit box or known secure location within your house, possibly the blue box." This is nutty, actually, but anyway. He says, "A letter of authorization may concern allowing access to your financial information, banks, blah, blah, blah." It says here, does not include house at 324 Derby Road, as that I firmly understand will become the property of Daniel Todd Fitzgerald, your other son. Okay, and then he says, a list of own goods you wish to be donated and to who you wish such goods to be donated, per your instructions or wishes regarding cremation and burial, or non-cremation or burial. My mom wanted to be buried, I buried her. A full contact information list of Daniel Todd, including all telephone numbers, email address, physical address, and so on. Okay, so this is confirming that the entire house was supposed to go to me, according to my brother's 2015-16 wills. In which case, the house would have been sold for $300,000 or $400,000 or $500,000, and my brother wouldn't have gotten a thing. In the Bonifant will, it says we're both equally trustee and executor. We split everything 50-50. Okay, that's what the Bonifant will means. But my brother decided that the 2016 will is the legal will, and when he tried to sell the house, okay, My lawyer told me, Mr. Maloney told me in February, he said, your brother's going to steal everything from you. He's going to try to steal everything. My brother went and tried to sell the house illegally without my permission or consent. Of course, he would have had to have talked to my lawyer, but now my lawyer doesn't exist. I've fired him. So I wish to report that I called my brother today and left him a couple of messages telling him, as I said in my previous video, that if he doesn't cooperate, I told him his 2016 will is illegal. I told him that the Bonifant will is the legal will, and I'm offering him one opportunity only to stop what he's doing and to commit to the Bonifant will. I told him he has to tell me exactly about all of my mother's assets, investment accounts, and everything else according to the Bonifant will. I told him that if he messes up, there's derogatory remarks by him, threats, intimidations of any kind, that was it. The deal's over. And I warned him that, I'll ram him through the Supreme Court of Canada, and he'll have to come here to Ottawa for the hearing. Okay. And then I left him actually two messages, essentially saying the same thing. It was all very legal. So then I come home from my bike ride and hear my wife told me the phone rang, and he left me this terrible threatening message. He's trying to put me in jail or something. He's saying that, what happened with Dalton McGuinty back in 2009 or 2008, and other things that he's saying that are really, frankly, irrelevant. And he's trying to use these as reasons. You can't do that. He cannot do that. So then, he threatens me. He says, well, I could call the police because you're threatening me in your voicemails. No, I never threatened him in my voicemails. I threatened to take him to the Supreme Court of Canada, which is the reason why I called. I wanted him to, to be reasonable about the whole thing, and he wasn't. So that's it, So I'm going to have to apply to the Supreme Court of Canada, and but I wanted you people on YouTube to see the documents, and I'm going to go. It's for the Supreme Court, and if they want to look at the videos, that's fine too. They can see the wills here. I will be requesting from the Supreme Court, or asking the Supreme Court, number one, to make a decision on which of these wills is legal. If they say that the 2016 will is legal, then my brother, I will get an order from the Supreme Court of Canada, an order that my brother's not allowed on the property ever again, and that the house belongs to me as well as the property. That's if they rule on the 2015-16 will. I will be making the suggestion that they should, because of what my brother has attempted to put me through. Of course, it's up to the court to decide. It's not up to me. Or they decide on the 2006 will, which is fine with me as well, whichever way they decide to go. And I'll be asking the Supreme Court in light of depositions regarding my brother and the things he's done using this 2016 will, which I've showed, which 1, 2, 3, 4 lawyers have said unequivocally that this thing is not legal. And that's what they've said. And I would find it hard to believe that the Supreme Court would not agree with the attorneys who said this to me. And there was no question in the attorneys' minds. I mean, they didn't say, well, maybe. They didn't, like Lee Maloney, say it was a codicil, okay? Making up excuses. The fact of the matter is 4 attorneys said bluntly right away. They didn't question it. They didn't say, oh, maybe it's a codicil, as my attorney tried to pull. They said, this piece of work is illegal. Okay? Of course, the Supreme Court, they can make of it whatever they want. It's up to them. So I'm going to ask them to remove my brother as executor from. I'm going to ask them to uphold the Peter Bonifant will, and I'm going to ask the Supreme Court to give an order that my brother is relieved, that the Bonifant will is the legal will, and that Robert Scott Fitzgerald is removed from that will as executor and trustee, and that the court order that I am made trustee and executor, so that I can move to have the house sold based either on the Bonifant will or the 2016 will, whichever one the court believes is the legal will, so I can move to immediately sell the house. And if they agree with the Bonifant will, then the money from the house will be put in a trust account, and will go through probate, and then whatever's remaining, my brother and I will split. Regarding Mr. Maloney, I'm filing against him anyway, definitely, regarding his actions in the estate. I will report to the court here that I think I already did a video on this, but I got a phone call from my mom's friend, elderly friend, and she told me that 3 weeks ago, real estate agents were at the house. My brother didn't show up for one, and he showed up for the second real estate agent. This is right at the time when Mr. Maloney told me that my brother agreed to the division. But Mr. Maloney and my brother, while I was commanding the Bonifant will regarding the division, Mr. Maloney and my brother agreed to sell the house per my brother's requests and only split the house with me 50-50. Okay? Mr. Maloney never once told me that he had asked my brother to bring a realty agent in. And then when I contacted Mr. Maloney about the progress report, and I said this in my other will, and I told him, Mr. Maloney, I have a progress report for you, stunned and rather ignorant. And I said, well, there hasn't been a realty agent at the house, and I found this out, and there's been no, the house is not for sale. Okay, Mr. Maloney agreed to that. He said, that's right. Well, he lied. Mr. Maloney lied to me. He should have told me that when my brother agreed, and Mr. Maloney talked to him and asked him to meet with the real estate agent at the house, because my brother has the keys to get in the house. That's what Mr. Maloney did. That's what we're accusing him of. Mr. Maloney did not consult with me. Mr. Maloney did not say to me, Dan, you're executor and trustee too. Do you want to go down there and meet the real estate agent? We can do it that way, and I'll give all the information to your brother's attorney. Mr. Maloney should have said to me, well, look, either one of you can do this. Okay, Mr. Maloney never offered me at all. Mr. Maloney told me not to go to the banks. Mr. Maloney was treating me like I was not executor and trustee all along, since day one, and he maintained that. So Mr. Maloney was going by the 2016 will. This is what he was doing with my brother. So when I was told by this person, my mom's friend, it was 2 to 3 weeks ago, my brother shows up at the house with real estate agents right at the time Maloney told me that he agreed to the division. But Maloney was not going by the Bonifant will. He was going by this will. Okay, so now the deal is off. All right, I offered my brother a division on the house and all of the assets according to the Bonifant will. He has declined, threatening me instead. So I will take this to the court and to the Supreme Court, and I'll file with these, and I'll be asking the Supreme Court to make a decision, a ruling on which will is legal. And also I'll be asking the court, based on my brother's activities, trying to sell the house under my feet, taking the his will to CIBC that's no good, and opening up an estate file based on that will, and then him faxing that will to the water department of Crystal Beach to shut off the water in my mom's house, and then turning around and trying to sell the house without informing me or anyone else. How did I find out? My mom's friend there went to the, there's people watching the house, okay? And one of these people reported to my mom's friend that my brother put for sale signs on it. Okay, my brother never notified me. He never notified my attorney. He was trying to sell the house to steal the property. I warned him today that that's a crime, that if he tries to sell the house without my permission, he'll be arrested for theft. Okay, and I really mean it. So anyways, that's it. I gotta go. I'll post this on YouTube. Shalom, God bless. And I thank people supporting the matter. And, in September, that's when I'm going to start the process with the Supreme Court. And that's about all I have to say. Shalom, God bless, and thank you very kindly.